Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and today I have 2-for-1 holiday cards for you. We'll use some emergency card sentiments and we'll use supplies that are pretty generic. You can probably make something really similar with supplies that you already have. So we have 2 cards today and we're going to get started by creating our backgrounds. This is the Jingle Bells bold print from Hero Arts. So it's just like a scripty Jingle Bells font in the background. And I have the stamp in my Misti. And then I put down my A2 panel, but I'm creating a little corner using some heavyweight cardstock to that top right so that when I'm done stamping this panel, I can put another panel in here and I know it will be perfectly placed. This is really great for any large stamp that you have. If you want to create backgrounds and don't want to have to line everything up over and over again, it's just a little jig, right? So I used a little anti-static powder and then VersaMark ink, and I'm pressing firmly and I'm just going to do it once. And actually it turns out really, really nicely. Here you can see I'm bringing in number 2 and it's so quick and easy. I just have a little removable adhesive on the bottom of my Misti to hold everything in place. If you're using a clear stamp instead, you could use a grip mat in there and that would work nicely as well. So ink all over, I'll press firmly. So I actually made, I think like 8 panels this day when I was making a ton. I did some in red and some in black, and I actually used 2 different stamps. I really liked this one. And then there's another one that looks sort of like rainfall that I did out of some glitter embossing powder. Whatever you have. In fact, this would also work really nicely with pattern paper. I love the A2 pads from scrapbook.com, and then they're already the perfect size as well. I'm using gold embossing powder here. I love sort of the really bold black, red, and gold, maybe some little accents in white. And I love for a holiday card to bring in a little bit of sparkle and shine. And we're going to do that in a lot of different ways today. So I will tap off the excess and then I'm going to set that aside. When I go to heat these up, I start on one side and I move sort of methodically to the other, and that embossing powder melts and gets extra shiny. You can see the one on the left on my table. So I have now 2 panels that match exactly because I used the jig in my Misti to create them. And I'm going to use these nested ornament infinity dies from Hero Arts. This is the 3rd largest, and I'm going to run that through both pieces at the same time. So the text is going to line up and then the pieces that I've cut out are going to line up. If you don't have this die set, use any nested die. It wouldn't have to be an ornament here. I just thought it worked nicely because I'm making a holiday card. But you could swap out a different shape and use this for a birthday card any time of year. So I'm gluing one of those panels onto a top folding A2 card base, and then I'm going to stack up some more of that same size of die cut. The bottom one is black because I cut one out anyway, so I might as well. And then I'm stacking up some red ones. I'm not going to lie, this is going to get a little chunky. I'm stacking up 6 layers of this ornament, but you wouldn't have to, right? If you're sending this through the mail, I might do 2 or 3, but I wouldn't go much higher than that. When the card gets really thick, it takes extra postage, but also if your card isn't flexible, if it doesn't bend very well, it doesn't go through the machines very well. So just something to keep an eye on. I hand deliver most of my cards, so I'm really not worried about it. I like wet glue for this. It lets me sort of wiggle things into place and make sure that all of the edges are lined up just perfectly. And then I'm just going to glue this right down into the middle of my card. On the second card, we're going to do an interactive technique. So we're going to have like a spinning ornament in the middle. But I thought for this one, you know, sometimes it's nice just to keep the card pretty simple. We're going to put a 25 in the middle. And I'm using these number dies from Hero Arts. I love these. I get so much mileage out of them. Here it's Christmas, but they're great for birthdays. You buy individual numbers, and so you'll get this size, which is sort of a medium sized number, and then a really big one. And then if I have the 2s, I have 2 like TWO in 2 different sizes as well. Really, really great. I'm stacking them up a couple of times and then I'll have them overlap ever so slightly in the middle. So we get this sort of like vintage look almost. I love this font on the 2 at the top where it makes that sort of ball on the inside swoop. I don't know, it slays me. It's so good. So I'm going to glue these down carefully, but they aren't going to stay as just flat cardstock numbers. I did like them stacked up twice because there are little bits of the 25 that are hanging off of that raised red ornament. But again, if you'd done fewer layers there, you really wouldn't have to do that. I do like to make them overlap. It just feels like they were designed to go together in that way. I just think that it's really elegant. We're going to add a sub-sentiment and I'm stamping it. I know I don't usually. We're going to use emergency sentiments as well for these cards, but Hero Arts has a handful of these stamps. This is the Christmas one, and it's going to stamp just a ton of strip sentiments all at the same time. So I have my anti-static powder, and then I'm going to use a black pigment ink. I want a nice, crisp, dark image here. And I want to heat emboss this. And so a pigment ink is going to stay wet a little bit longer than a dye ink, and it's going to give me time to add a little bit of embossing powder. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm a little bit afraid of black embossing powder. I don't know what it is, but the little black flecks get everywhere. I can't seem to keep from getting strays, and then it's not a really crisp, clean look. So I'll use black pigment ink and a clear embossing powder, and I get a very similar look. Not quite the same, but this is way less stress. So I'm happy to go this direction. And then once again, when I have a large panel, I sort of start on one side and I'm really methodical about how I go about heating and melting everything else so I don't end up with little bits of embossing powder that didn't melt. I also went from the back this time, partly so you could see it, but partly because I feel like I get better coverage of my embossing powder when the sort of wind, if you will, from my heat gun isn't blowing it everywhere. While we were talking about embossing powder, I cut out all those strips in a single pass using their 1/4 inch strip die, or I think it's just called the Sentiment Strips die. It is amazing. In theory, you should be able to use that die to cut out strip sentiments from the emergency card kits. They're a 1/4 inch, but I'll be honest, it works okay with my laser printer, but my inkjet, I guess, changes the size a little bit. It just doesn't work very well. But if you have the die, check, it may work for you. I'm just trimming the edges on one of these. Some of the lines where it's cutting out the strip has more than one sentiment on it. So I have no peaking, and that's going to go on top of our 25. And I'm just layering that up a couple times. We already have this like chunky monkey card, so I might as well go for it. And then I'm bringing in the Sassy Holiday Kit. This is white text on black. And I have just a bunch of funny sentiments in this one. And I'm going to use the one that says, I'm giving everyone my opinion this Christmas, which is so funny for me. If you show up at my family's Christmas, we're all giving each other our opinions for Christmas in the best of ways. We get along great, but I just think it's really funny. Because this is black toner printed onto white paper, or it could be inkjet printed onto white, I am going around the outside edge with a black marker, so it looks like black cardstock, and you're not going to get that flash of white from the side as you're sort of tilting the card. We're going to have even more shine on here, and so I want it to pick up those shiny elements and not the white of the cardstock. I'm also going to stack this up on another piece of cardstock. My printer paper is about 65 pound. It just works best. I get the best print that way. So a little extra bulk on there makes it a little sturdier, and it will be more in balance with the other raised elements on this card. But again, you could absolutely skip that, or you could just use foam tape. We're going to use some foam tape too. But I like to go all out on holiday cards. I just think that's a lot of fun. I have some 1mm black foam tape. Again, I don't want to see any white from the side. Even my card base is black. So this helps hide it. If you don't have black foam tape, use your white foam tape and go around the edges with a Sharpie. That will work too. I have a little bit of glue on the back of that foam just to give me some wiggle room, help me get it all straight. We have sort of straight lines in the scripty text in the background, so it would be really obvious if it weren't straight. I have another little sub sentiment. It says, get excited. This is from that emergency card kit, the Sassy Holidays. And I'm adding a little red layer, about 3/8 of an inch. I line it up so that the top, bottom, and left are equal margins. And then I just trim off the right-hand side until it matches. And this will go on the inside on the bottom, just for a little extra chuckle when you open it up. All right, to finish off our card, we're gonna really step up that 25. I have the Spellbinders Glaze and Glue. It's kind of like glossy accents, but I just find this one a lot easier to work with. It's a little more liquid. I'm not sure if that's the word I want. It flows better, it levels out better. I get fewer air bubbles in there that I need to go back in and pop later. And I'm able to use just the tip of the bottle to kind of nudge this and spread it to the edges. It stays wet long enough that I have time to work with it pretty easily. I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of iridescent glitter as well. I want all the shine. So we have that gold in the background from the Jingle Bells script that we embossed on there. We're going to have this great glossy finish on the 25, a little bit of glitter. And then I put no peaking on top of the 25, and I will just nudge that into place. Once it dries, this is what it looks like, my friends. I love this one so much. For my second card, I'm using the other panel and middle. So this one has a little spinning element. It's going to spin round and round so we can get a sentiment and a sub-sentiment here. Those are going to be our emergency card sentiments. But I am going to start by opening up my card, and I am going to temporarily tape this red panel that we die cut earlier on top of it, right? It is perfectly fitted to the front, and I will take the same size die and cut a hole out of the back of my card. I'm making sure the card is open, and then I'm careful with my plates. I try to set the edge of the plate right at the score line of the card so I don't get any weird extra folds in there, but that's our card. Then I'm going to take this inside piece and I'm going to cut it one size smaller. You better believe this is going to leave a little frame, and I kept that. I will use it on a third card later on, not in this video, but it's just really beautiful and I love them both. If I used the original size, it wouldn't spin very well in there. It would hit the sides a little bit too much for me. So I like this slightly smaller size. I'm going to double this one up. And then I have two that are just plain, and I'm going to double those up as well. We're going to use some clear thread to create a spinning element on our card. And so I want it to be pretty sturdy since this is the piece that's going to move. I have cut just, I don't know, a long length of that clear thread. I like to have plenty of extra. It's not expensive. And so this just gives me more to work with. It's a little easier. I start with some double-sided tape, and I'm going to stick the thread in the middle. And then I'm going to layer over the top of that thread, heading towards the top and towards the bottom with more of that double-sided tape, okay? If I left it like that, the thread could move up and down behind that tape, and I don't want that. So I've released all that backing paper, and now I'm flipping the thread and pulling it towards the opposite ends. So there is like a fold in the middle. I have the thread going one direction and then folded back on top of itself. And then I'm going to add a little more tape on there as well and glue everything with lots of glue together. That crisscross is pivotal for a card like this. So if you've made one of these before and you felt like it didn't last very long, like the thread was getting loose, this is, to me, the way to get around that. So now I have really long tails on either side of my ornament. I like that. I find it easier to work with that way. And I'm going to add my double-sided tape on the top and bottom of my ornament. I would use whatever double-sided adhesive you have that is the strongest. Red line tape to me is the absolute strongest, but it's a pain to work with. Other than that, the sort of Sookwang score tape would be my second pick. And then after that is sort of all the other double-sided tapes. They're fine. But I use more if I'm not using one of those top two. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my thread on top of that adhesive, and you can see me kind of folding it back and doing a couple of layers. That thread at the top is so short. It's so short where it's attaching to the card. So I'm being really careful to sort of fold it back and forth through that adhesive and make sure it's not going to come loose, because if that top thread comes loose, there's no way to fix it. Okay. So then I will trim off the excess and add glue all over this panel. I want this to be really sturdy. My cards get passed around to small people. You've heard it 100 times here. I try to make my cards as indestructible as possible. If you are giving these to responsible adults, you probably don't need to do quite as much. So I'm lining this up and making sure that that center panel is lining up perfectly. Other than that, I can sort of trim the edges on the sides and on the bottom if I need to, if I've got anything kind of poking out. Next, I'm going to add two 2-inch glitter circles. This is the standard mat for an emergency card circle sentiment. If you're new here, I release free printable sentiments once a month. And from the beginning, starting 3 years ago, I have always released a 1 3/4 inch circle that's going to fit perfectly on here. So again, on the back, I'm going to add another one of those gold glitter circles. That's from the Treasured Cardstock pack from Spellbinders. And then we're going to grab this Sassy holiday and we're going to punch out 2 circle sentiments. They say, during this most festive time of year, I hate you the least. I have my mini Minc warming up. I am on setting 3. I'm going to dust off my little sentiments. These are printed with my laser printer with toner. And then I have toner foils. Mine are Deco foil, but there's lots of brands. I really like the ones from Pink and Maine, Gina K, Tailored Expressions. I'm going to lay the foil on top and I will run it through. There was a carrier sheet that came with my mini Minc when I first got it, but my friends, I have no idea where that is. This is a folded piece of 100-pound cardstock. I'm going to let those cool down a little bit. What we're doing is melting the toner, the plastic that I printed with. And so I want that to cool and harden again and grab onto that foil before I peel it off. And you can see that there's just so much more shine on the foiled version. This is just like a black glossy foil compared to the toner printed one, which is sort of matte and dull. I'm going around the edges again with my black marker. This is an Ohuhu alcohol marker, but a Sharpie works great here. I do like an alcohol marker for this. I just think it's a little less messy. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue these onto my card. So on the front, I have during this most festive time of year, and it's upright like you normally would put this on a card. But then I'm going to open it up to the inside and add one to the inside. And we're going to run into a little bit of a problem, right? I just spun that around. I'm going to glue this on here. Later on, we're going to take it off. You'll see why. I do like wet glue for this because it's going on to glitter cardstock. So I'll kind of hold that in place. And I'm going to add a little sub-sentiment. So this one is also going to say, missing you at Christmas. I love the sort of sweet and sassy happening at the same time. I'm going to give this a mat of some black glitter foil. Again, I like all the shine. So I have the shine of the embossing powder. I have the glitter from that gold circle. I have that glossy black from foiling the sentiment in the middle. And then this sentiment, remember, we heat embossed with clear embossing powder onto black. And so it has some texture and dimension and just that little bit of shine as well. And we're putting that on some glitter black cardstock. You're just going to see that shine at the very edges of it because I have cut this to like the tiniest little sliver of a mat. Normally I would do 3/8 of an inch for a 1/4 inch sentiment, but this is a little bit smaller than that even. I have a little bit of black foam on the back to pop that up, and I will add that onto my card. And then I spun it all up. I went to show it to you, and look what happens on the inside. When that stops spinning, it's going to be upside down. I want that to go the other direction. So I'm just going to take my little pokey tool and very carefully go underneath that. And I'm going to glue it so that it's right side up when you open it. If you were using a side fold instead of a top fold card, you wouldn't have needed to do that, right? Because it doesn't end up upside down when you open it. So I'm just gently spinning everything around and then I close the card and you can tuck it into your envelope with everything wound up and ready to go. So when your recipient gets it, they open it up, it spins around, and there's that I hate you the least. So funny to me. My friends, I hope you'll give this 2-for-1 technique a try. We're just heat embossing some backgrounds and using some nested dies to create spinning and elevated elements. Lots of texture, lots of shine. As always, I appreciate you spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.